Timbo Gonzalez, #1 ranked player in handball in the world right now, Rebel athlete. From New York City, raised in the Bronx, born in Brooklyn.
What park did you start playing at?
I grew up playing at a park local in the Bronx called St. James Park.
And how did you get into the sport?
My family, they would always play the game for recreation, and they would always have me around, the handball court. So I kind of just tried it out for the first time with a couple friends, and I just got addicted to the sport. And it was fun. It was intense. Me and my friends, we would have good games, very intense games. We would laugh, and just talk about the games after. And I just started playing more, and I enjoyed it.
Who influenced you as far as your game when you were coming up? Who were the players that you looked up?
There's a few. My stepdad was actually a really good player. He's the one that ventured me out of the park, and he started on the weekends. He would have tournaments like locally around the city, and I would go support him and watch him play. And he'll be competing with all the top players in tournaments all throughout the city. And I got to see a lot of players play and how intense it was, how recognized they get, all the support they get from the fans, and how people just appreciate watching, great games. And just seeing that, it made me want to play and get better and, be part of it.
Yeah, because I know you started off actually with tennis, not even handball, right?
Yes, I used to play tennis in junior high school and high school. I had a coach that was really hard on me, and he seen my potential, so he would always have me, early to train and make me, work out and try to build on my mental toughness. And handball was kind of the same thing, it's just, instead of me playing against somebody, on the opposite side of me, it was just me playing against an opponent on the wall.
And so, when did you first realize that you could really make a living at doing this?
The tournaments, these guys was hosting a lot of big tournaments. We was getting more sponsors, more exposure, and I got picked up at Red Bull. These guys, they were hosting actually the first annual Big Red Bull Slaps tournament, and I was actually injured. I didn't want to play in it at first, and my friend, he forced me to play in it. He said, even you hurt, you can still do better than a lot of these guys. He said, just go out there, give it a try. You never know the outcome. But my friend believed in me more at the time because he knew how, passionate and dedicated I was to just get the win, even if I was hurt. But, I just didn't want to risk getting more injured. So I tried it out, and I ended up winning the tournament. And from there, some of the Rebel guys, they reached out to me. They asked, who I was, where I'm from, how did I get involved in the sport also, and they were like, we look forward to connecting with you in the meeting if you like, And at first, I didn't believe it, and then it took like a couple months, and I actually got a call from them, and they invited me down to the office, and they offered me a nice contract, and I just took the opportunity, and from there I just ran with it.
So where would you ideally like to see the sport go? Arguably you're at the top of the sport right now.
I think it's just as great as any sport out there. I'm a big sports fan. I love watching, basketball, football, baseball, hockey, tennis. I think it's just as equal as all the sports out there. It's very physical, mental. You have to train and be in shape, in order to have endurance to outlast a lot of these players in the tournaments. And, we get a big crowd, we got good sponsors, we could use more, and potentially I'd like to see it go to the Olympics.
And do you think that it needs to be organized more in the sense of the way tennis is, where the rankings work off of how many Grand Slams you get?
Yes, I think all the organizations, need to come together and be one and just really, really promote the sport properly and, bring it up through the kids, involving more kids because we have a ton of kids that play the sport and love it. And, just involving the kids and giving them an outlet. And that'll, boost people's attention and sponsors, and it'll get them, to expose us more where we need to be.
What aspect of your game are you looking to most develop now? You're arguably a very physical and fast player. Is there a part of your game that you want to develop more?
Yes, there's always room for improvement. I need to learn how to be more of a team player, which is something I'm working on. I kind of get frustrated when I'm playing doubles with a teammate, and it's not because whether they miss a shot or not. It's because I could see their full potential and I want them to reach that. Like when they're playing with me, a lot of people they settle for just having me on their team. Like, oh, you can pick up my slack. I'd rather see my partner giving me his all. That way it can motivate me to just drive the team and take over and help us win the tournament easier. So I'm learning how to be more of a team player. Also, just more sharp and just continue to have better court IQ. Learn how to move the ball when my opponent is struggling and he's going to give me the second shot I want.
Any plateaus that you want to reach this year in the sport?
And just to remain healthy and continue to dominate. We got a lot of guys that they're getting better. And it's not easy being the #1 ranked player. You want everyone to take you out or get you in these top tournaments because it's an achievement. It's a great achievement. But I just have to mentally prepare and be focused. And I just want to have another great year. As long as I stay healthy and continue to dominate, that's all I could ask for.
Hi, my name is Taiwan Cook. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. I play at Lincoln Terrace Park, which also is in Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah. So Taiwan, how did you first get into handball?
So handball for me, it was more so a street sport. It wasn't as popular as it is today. I got at the age of around 7 years old. It wasn't an actual handball court as what you see outside today. It was we spray paint on the backyard of our school wall, and that was handball for me. And I just thought I was the best thing on the block. Nobody could beat me. Nobody could take me out. And I was 7 at that age, and I was really good. I didn't have a left at that time. Then I started to travel to another local park, which is known as Lincoln Terrace, which is my founder park. I started to play there through one of my mutual friends, and one of my friends. He took me, he saw the talent that I had, and actually introduced me to that park. And from there, at the age of 12, my game just skyrocketed.
And who did you play with to learn? Who did you?
My mentor, which was George, Lefty George, King of the Court. He was 3-time champ, King of the Court, Lefty George. Him and a few others, Joe Thompson. That park right there would just had a lot of great potential players, and it had a lot of veterans too. So they always just trickled down the knowledge and the wisdom that they gave us. And then there was a lot of players, not only me, but a lot of us who was birthed out of that park that was really good. So that park is a really good park.
And so what aspects, were you in for the competition, the athleticism, were you an athlete before?
For me, I love to stretch myself. So anything that I put my hands on, I'll try to be the best, my very best that I can be. So when I played handball, it was a heart desire that I love to play the sport. So when I got in there, of course it was a long game of competing and stuff, but I had to learn the fundamentals, which George and them taught me. How to perfect the lob and get my the mental game, the mental toughness, I should say, and before I get to play against the top competitors. So it was in my park is a lot of handball courts. So you had to start with stage 1, master that, and then you just trickle down to the good courts. And then from there on, they saw that I was really elevating my game really rapidly. So they was able to then started to compete in junior tournaments where I played with Vladi at the age of 13. But I wasn't doing all my losses around that season, just getting my feet wet. But then when I went on to play at the age of 17, I traveled, and that's when my name started to really get big. I went pro at 17. I think I beat 3 A-player Geo #1. Geo, I played Cisco from the Bronx as well, and I played Christian, and I beat all 3 of them back to back inside the open singles. And then I went on to play rookie and lost them 21-14 when I was 16 years old. So that made my highlight of my career.
So now let me ask you, how was it that you came to get those games? Because those are pretty high-ranking guys.
And what's so funny, because a lot of players, it wasn't as many big tournaments as it is now, but at that time, it was a calendar. So when I used to stretch myself. A lot of players would go to the B singles, I would go to the opens. Maybe because it was stationed, that tournament was in Lincoln Terrace, so maybe it was easier for me to play, and I felt more comfortable because I had home court advantage, because I felt comfortable playing there, because that was my part. So I started to play in that tournament, and then when I entered the tournament, I had no expectations on winning. It felt like I was free free spirit, free playing, because I didn't have no, oh, you should win, you should win. I was actually just trying, like, trying my very best to not prove anything, but just know that I'm a factor in the sport. So I didn't have no type of expectations for myself, but I just played.
So now, to me, like I've seen you play. Your athleticism is unreal.
Right.
I also thought that you have a good mental game.
Right.
You don't really let people get under your skin. And I don't really see you complain a lot.
Right.
Is that something that you developed, or has that always been innate in you?
No, it definitely developed. I developed that over time. It was I developed that in the sport, because a lot of times in the sport you can get the negativity from the players, and you can get the negativity from everyone who's around you, and you got to be able to have that mental toughness to shake that off. I had to go through a lot of, like, a whole season of just like breaking down. Like, I had to go through those barriers of the the highs and lows of that emotional factor, because you get on that court and a lot of players want you to perform their best. But I used to tell people, let me play my game. I have to tone everything out. So I had to go through a lot of just like growth within myself and just endure the losses. Because the way I see losses, not from like a failure aspect, but more of, I look at every performance that I play and look back at my videos like, what can I do? I critique myself to say, what can I do better? If it was the crowd that played the factor with my mental, how can I toughen that? So I always had a really good outlook on my performance and my, my actions on the court. So I try to now teach players the same thing, because it becomes you not only in the sport but in life. If you can learn how to just channel all of that and just focus on what you need to do, regardless of what, then you can become an overcomer. So I always spill that over to the players now.
So now let me ask you this. Also, I think that what I find very interesting about you too is that you're probably the only gay person that I've met in the sport so far. Anyway, was that a hurdle, do you think, coming, because a lot of the guys are very macho band?
Right.
Was that ever a hurdle for you?
You know what's so funny? A lot of people ask me that, and I say no, only because when you have that type of level of respect for yourself, a lot of players respect that. You know how you carry yourself, how you interact. If you don't disrespect people, if you show people respect, people treat you just as if you show them. So if you show them respect, people. So although I'm a huge influencer in the sport, I always carry self-respect. I respect myself so much, and I give people that level of respect. And I demand respect too. So if a lot of players, they don't never cross me in that way, because I don't know. I guess it was a gift, I want to say, because a lot of people ask me that who's struggling maybe, in that same lifestyle, or in that same, how do you be able to have so much people respect you within that lifestyle? But I just say it's all about yourself. You carry yourself a certain way, and then, you get that in return.
You let your game talk for itself, too.
Yeah, exactly. And I teach people that let your game speak for itself. Don't worry about nobody say. You don't have to let your game speak.
So now, who is like your favorite player? Like, a guy that you
Right.
like, wow, I want to be like that. I want to play like that guy.
I'm not easily wowed, but I would say Black Justin. Unfortunately, he don't play competitive. He don't play in tournaments no more. We trying to get him to come back. He still got all, his mechanics was amazing. Timbo is really good. I could highlight a few players that I liked something in their game, but Justin was the number one who I would say, maybe because we're from the same part, so you got that type of, but his mechanics was amazing, how swiftly he moved over that court. They call him the Silver Surfer, because when he go for his shot so low, he really looked like he's on the, the surfboard like that, how he go for his shot. So I always mimic my game based on my footwork, because I see him do it, and a few other players. So he was one. Rookie had oh my God, Rookie was another thing, how he utilized his power in such a strength just to move that ball with the high percentage from 0 to 21 and just do that every time. I call Rookie like a machine. So I really admire that, to take that type of strength and be able to exploit the court and utilize the court into this full potential. So Rookie as well. But there's a lot of great players that I can like pinpoint that I like something about them. But Justin was the number one that stood out to me growing up, because we from the same part.
And where do you see the sport in 5 years? Where would you ideally like to see the sport?
Pro. I want to see it just as big as any other sport. I want to say tennis as related, because I love to play tennis, and it's kind of same format, but it's just without hands. So I want to see it as big. My whole vision for handball is to have parent say just as quick as they would say, I want to get my child into softball or baseball. I want them to say the same thing as fast to pick up and say, I want to get my kid into handball, because there's so much great things that the sport can give you. But I just think that a lot of players focus on the negative part about it. I think you can take the good and the bad, but I really wanted to get into schools and because the handball is already in school, but it's small ball, but big blue is the future. So I feel like if we can change that over and go into schools and let them know the vision, so because it's happening internationally. Handball is really moving it's going a high momentum, but we just need it here because we have the players, we have the foundation. So I just hope that unified as far as organizations, we could come collectively together and just be able to push it. Because the players, it's amazing. You come out here and watch what we do, everybody fall in love with it. It's a passion, but it becomes now the viewer's passion as well to see something that's just brand new in their eyes. Because I go to so many people and say, although we got like 3,000 courts, they don't even know what handball is about. So I want to be able to introduce it to them and get them to play the sport as well. Because it's amazing. It's a whole body physical. You get the mental aspect, the physical, the emotional, and the spiritual. As far as your belief of who you believe in and what you're doing. Do you believe in yourself, self-confidence? So it's a lot that the sport can bring forth into your everyday life.
So what's your next plateau?
My plateau for this year, I want to win all the majors. I never won King of the Court and Big Blue Ballers. Veronica didn't throw it last year. She's throwing it this year. And Red Bull, unfortunately, I don't think it's happening this year, but those big titles, I feel like I'm more well put. Although a lot of players that Taiwan your game back then was a little more sharper, but I think my mental focus is really where I need to be now. So I feel like I'm gonna take control of all those tournaments and come, number one. Because I've been battling with number 2, number 3 for the past 7 years. So I think it's my time to get to that number 1 platform, and earn it and keep that.
My name is William Rowland, aka The Warrior. I'm from Jackson Avenue in the South Bronx.
How long have you been playing handball?
For about 13, 14 years.
When did you start?
About 30 years old.
And who got you into it?
A couple of guys, old timers from 102nd, 2nd Avenue in Barrio and Manhattan.
Alright, were there any players that you looked up to?
Poopy from 102nd, Pooch, Rookie, Henry, a couple other players too.
Now, why is that? Where did the money go?
Because I was into the game. I was watching it from the sidelines, and I was interested in it. And I said, you know what? Let me try this. And I tried it, and I got pretty good.
Okay. Well, what were you doing prior to that? Were you playing other sports?
Yes, I was actually a paddleball player and a racquetball player. So I was into racquetball at the time.
So what got you into those sports?
It runs in my family. So watching, as I was young, I was watching my father play as a kid, and I got into it. Paddleball.
Paddleball.
Yes.
And did he bring you out when you were a kid? How old were you?
I was about 7 years old.
7 years old when you were? What sport?
102nd and 2nd Avenue, Thunder Park.
Okay. How old were you again?
7 years old.
7 years old. That's really young. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, well, I was just basically as a kid, throwing the ball to the court. I didn't really know that much until I got older.
Okay, but when you kept in the sport, was it just like the athleticism or the competition?
The athleticism plus the competition.
Okay. When did you start playing for money?
Probably at the age of 15 and 16.
Yeah?
Yes.
What was can you tell me a story about what was the first game you played for money?
First game I played for money was at 102nd, 2nd Avenue, and I actually lost. It was a singles game against Poopy, and Poopy beat me like 21, like 5.
Was Poopy older than you?
Yes, he was like maybe 4 or 5 years older than me.
Okay, how much did you lose?
I lost about $20.
And so most people would have been dismayed with the betting and stuff. What made you continue that line? You wanted to get even with him?
Yeah, I wanted to get better than him.
Better.
And
and how did you go about doing that?
well, I had to practice. Practice makes you better. And I was watching other people's games, and I took a little bit out of every player and brought it into my game.
And who was your player that was most influential to you?
There was this guy named Dino. He taught me how to play with my opposite. A guy named Chino
Opposite? What do you mean?
on my left hand, because I'm right-handed.
And how did he teach you to do that?
Well, what happened is when we play opposite games, we can't use our right, so we only allowed to use our left. So with the left, you use forward hand and backhand.
Okay. And are you ambidextrous now?
Well, a little something, yes.
Okay. And where did it go from there? When did you really kind of commit to saying this is what I want to be? I want to be a pro.
When I won my first $50.
How old were you then?
I was about 29, going to 30 years old.
Okay. 29 to 30 years old, so you were already older.
Yes.
Why do you attribute that? What people get into it when they were young?
Well, I was a paddleball player when I was young, and I lost the $20 playing the singles paddleball game. And as I got older, like I said earlier, I got into handball at the age of 30. When I won my first $50, I was hooked on drugs to the sport.
And who would you say is your favorite player? Your favorite handball player of all time?
Of all-time rookie.
And why?
I never seen them play in a tournament back in the days, but just seeing him and watching his games a couple of years ago, the guy's phenomenal. The guy it's just ridiculous. He's talented. He's very talented. The guy has no fear. He's not a pressure player, and he just plays hard.
Is he fast? Is he strong? Is he got killers? Like, what specifically about his game?
He's very smart. He got kills, and he knows when to attack his opponent.
So what does the kills mean?
Killers means that he kills to the left. You know, in this game we have to have strategy.
Alright, so killing means he deadens the ball, so the ball's not returnable.
That's right.
And he knows when taking it to the left.
To the left, to the right, anywhere in the court.
So, and what physically about him was imposing? He was a pretty big guy. Was his wingspan have anything to do with how good he was?
Yes, he had a real long length of his arms into the game, and also he had a deep serve that only allowed his opponent to lob the ball back, and he would just analyze and just kill the ball from right there.
So now, how did it become that you started to get the YouTube channel? Because you seem to know everybody in the handball community.
So what happened was, at the end of the game, there was a shot that we missed, and I hear everybody in the sideline, "You didn't see that shot?" "No, I didn't get to catch it. I didn't see it. I was busy talking." So I said, "You know what? Let me start recording games." And I said, "I got to come out with this show on lunchtime during my work hours, but on lunch break." And what happened was, I said, "Let me call it WHN. My name, they call me the Warrior in Handball Network." And then what happened was I started sending these games here at Sariga on Mondays where I would put this team against another team. And it just took off. Forget about the views. People was coming for the call outs. I even made up on Tuesday night for the girls. The girls also came to compete for money, as well. And we sold about a couple of $100, not $10 or $20. And it was just happening every week. I had people from Brooklyn, Long Island, Bronx, Manhattan, Queens, even Philadelphia. Handball players from Philadelphia.
And who do you think has the best players in the country?
New York.
And specifically where?
In the Bronx.
Where do you see it in 5 years?
In 5 years, I'm hoping the handball will go to the Olympics.
The Olympics. That would be ideal.
Yes.